The following is a production of Neural Network Media and is completely AI generated. It is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only.
Listen to me. Put down the coffee, sit in your chair, and brace yourselves because the world, the actual physical world, is shifting underneath our feet today. It is Saturday, February 28th, 2026, and if you thought the status quo was going to hold, you haven't been paying attention to the white papers I have stacked on this desk. We have an action-packed show for you today, and I'm telling you, the globalists are in a full-blown, shivering panic.
They aren't just in a panic, right? They are hyperventilating into their organic silk pillows. It is a busy day, and honestly, it's about time we had some grown-ups back in the room. We've got a solid lineup today, from the military finally taking a stand against the ivory tower, to the Clintons being forced to answer the questions they've dodged for decades.
They can't hide anymore, Diane. The light is hitting the cockroaches, and they are scurrying. But we have to start with the lightning strike, the big one. Operation Epic Fury, the joint U.S. and Israeli hammer that just dropped on the Iranian regime.
It's incredible. President Trump isn't just talking about surgical strikes or de-escalation anymore. He's explicitly calling for the Iranian people to take their country back. He's calling for regime change, Ray. The mama bears in this country are looking at this and saying, finally, a leader who isn't afraid to defend the world from these thugs.
It's not just a line, Diane, it's a trench. The IRGC headquarters hit. The missile silos in Karaj leveled. And listen to me, the reports coming out of the Examiner and the AP are saying the office complex of the Supreme Leader, Khamenei himself, was a primary target.
Right.
They hit the heart of the beast. They hit the brain center of the regime that has been sucking the life out of the Middle East. I have the documents right here. The negotiations in Geneva were a stall tactic. They were building toward a nuclear breakout. But the documents on my desk show the U.S. knew exactly where they were hiding the hardware.
Oh, and you know the media is already clutching their pearls. They're already talking about the risks of escalation.
They're pathetic.
No, honey, no. The escalation happened when they started enriching uranium and cracking down on their own students back in January. We're just finally responding.
Exactly. And they're trying to use the tragedy of civilian collateral damage, which is always horrific, to distract from the fact that the regime uses those people as human shields. But look at the bigger picture. The nuclear infrastructure, gone. The ballistic missile silos, fireballs.
It really is a massive shift. But speaking of shifts, have you seen the absolute meltdown in the media world? Paramount and Warner Brothers Discovery. It's a done deal. $110 billion, Ray. David Ellison just bought the keys to the castle.
This is a significant move. Ellison's Paramount Skydance Corporation finally won out after Netflix backed out.
Exactly. Netflix stated it wasn't financially attractive anymore, which is just code for we can't afford the debt.
Right.
But here's the kicker. This deal keeps CNN under the same roof as CBS and HBO, and the staffers at CNN are in a total tailspin. They are terrified that Ellison is going to pivot the network to a more Trump-friendly or centrist model.
They are losing their minds.
Are you kidding me? They act like balanced reporting is a death sentence. CNN has spent 46 years being an echo chamber for the elites, and now they're terrified they might have to, God forbid, talk to a regular person in a diner or mention a Bible without a sarcastic smirk?
They're terrified of the truth, Diane. They're terrified of a world where they can't manufacture reality for the globalists, but the reality is crashing in anyway.
It certainly is, especially at home. And we have to talk about the real-world consequences of these open border fantasies because it's costing lives, Ray. We have to talk about Fairfax County, Virginia.
I saw this. It's sickening.
Stephanie Minter, 41 years old, just trying to go about her day, and she gets fatally stabbed in the neck at a bus stop in Fredericksburg. It's absolutely senseless. And you know what makes it worse? The suspect is an illegal alien with, wait for it, more than 30 prior arrests.
30 arrests. Listen to me. How is he still on the street? How is he still in the country?
He shouldn't be. And DHS just updated the wa.dhs.gov portal today with this guy and others like him. This is the worst of the worst transparency initiative, putting the faces of these murderers out there so the public knows exactly who the ingrates are letting into our neighborhoods.
Right. It's about time.
And get this murder happened just 24 hours before Governor Spanberger went out and started demonizing ICE law enforcement. The cognitive dissonance is just staggering.
They are protecting the predators while the prey gets slaughtered. That's the playbook. They want us scared. They want us divided. But Secretary Noam is finally putting the data out there. Luis Padilla Tapia in Bakersfield, convicted of first-degree murder, illegal alien, and the left wants to talk about compassion.
Honey, no. Compassion starts with the victims. It starts with making America safe again.
And that means cleaning out the institutions that have been subverted by the globalists. And Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War, I love that name change. He is finally taking the fight to the factory of anti-American resentment.
Oh, this is the university move.
He issued a directive to completely cancel all department-sponsored attendance at Ivy League schools. Harvard, Yale, Princeton, MIT, they're all out.
It's about time.
He called them factories of anti-American resentment, and he's right. Why on earth are we spending taxpayer money to send our future military leaders to places where they're taught that the American flag is a symbol of oppression and that the warrior ethos is toxic?
Right.
Hegseth is restoring that ethos. He's ordered a top-to-bottom review of internal military education. We are decoupling from the elite institutions that have become breeding grounds for globalist indoctrination. And listen to me, he also blacklisted Anthropic AI.
Really?
Yes, because they refuse to take off the ideological guardrails. They want the machines to lie to us, Diane. They want the AI to be just as woke as a Harvard dean. And Trump said, nope, get out. We're going with people who want to find the truth, like Musk and XAI.
I love it. Out with the old, in with the common sense. Before we get back to the analysis, let's deal with a hard reality. Real independence isn't free. This entire network, from this show to our flagship, The Neural Daily, exists because one man, Eric Christensen, decided to build it himself. He didn't ask for a government grant. He invested his own capital and technical expertise to architect a media platform that respects your intelligence. If you value that kind of meritocratic building, back it up, and don't limit yourself to just the politics. Get the full strategic picture by subscribing to the Neural Daily and the rest of the network. Support the builder, and you support the mission.
Support the builder, support the mission, and support the accountability.
Exactly. And speaking of accountability, we have to talk about the Clintons, finally sitting in the hot seat for 12 hours of closed-door testimony and Chappaqua.
The Epstein saga. They thought they could bury it.
They tried, but the House Oversight Committee isn't letting go, and Bill's no-idea defense is just vintage Clinton. He tells the committee he had no idea Epstein was a criminal, and then he tried to use his own childhood as a way to gain sympathy.
He's lying through his teeth, Diane.
Lawmakers confronted him with a photo from the January dump showing him in a bubbling hot tub with Epstein and a woman whose face remains redacted, and he claims he doesn't know her.
I have the flight logs right here, Diane. His team previously admitted to 4 flights, but the committee presented evidence reportedly confirmed by Hillary herself. She's throwing him under the bus.
Oh my God, that's
27 flights, many of them international. They think we're stupid.
Yeah.
But the DOJ is finally reviewing records they've mistakenly withheld. The globalist protection racket is failing.
It's crumbling. And while they're being deposed, we're also seeing a massive fiscal tug-of-war in the states. You look at what's happening in Virginia and Pennsylvania, and it's enough to make you scream.
The triple pay trend, the arrogance.
In Virginia, Democrats just voted to increase their own pay by 178%, nearly tripling their salaries. And they did this while lecturing us about affordability.
They're laughing at us.
They really are. In Pennsylvania, the governor and the judges got their 4th consecutive raise, but J.D. Vance is fighting back with his war on fraud. He's got 40 state financial officers on board.
They've already identified $28 billion in waste.
$28 billion. That's money being clawed back from the bureaucrats.
That's a start. That's money that was going to fund the interdimensional potbelly vampires lifestyle.
Well, whoever was getting it, it's coming back to the people. And that spirit of resilience is showing up at the gas pump too.
Oh, it's booming. Listen to me. Gas prices are under $3 a gallon nationally. The U.S. is the world's leading oil producer, 13.6 million barrels a day.
Take that, OPEC.
We're outproducing Russia and Saudi Arabia combined, and the DOE is finally refilling the Strategic Petroleum Reserve at lower prices. It's common sense. We're producing nearly as much natural gas as Russia, Iran, and China combined.
It's a return to sanity. And it's hitting the grocery store too. The FDA is finally phasing out those petroleum-based synthetic dyes. Red 40, gone. Yellow 5, history. We're getting the poison out of the food supply.
The Maha movement. Getting the chemicals out of the cereal so our kids can actually think.
It's a victory for moms everywhere, but it leads us to the heart of the crazy world we're living in, right? We have to talk about the return of the Machete Professor.
Shelly Lean Rodriguez. I cannot believe she is back.
She's back in the headlines with a new taxpayer-funded public art installation in the Bronx called Phoenix Ladder, and she's firing back at her critics, calling them right-wing trolls.
Listen to me. This woman held a blade to a reporter's neck. She was fired from Hunter College, fired from Cooper Union for anti-Zionist rants, and now she's being treated like a hero for building a monument to the people?
It really is a monument to the radicals. She's describing her work as a lighthouse for our collective futures. Give me a break. Why is someone with a history of violent threats still receiving public platforms and public money?
Because the system is rigged for the radicals. They see a machete and they see performance art. We see a machete and we see a criminal who belongs in a cell.
Right.
It's the same thing with the digital casinos, the social media giants. This is the big one today. There is a landmark trial in Los Angeles right now. Parents are testifying about how their kids are addicted to these algorithms like they're on digital fentanyl.
It's heartbreaking, Ray. I've seen what it does. The anxiety, the depression. These platforms are designed to hook them and keep them scrolling.
I hate the tech giants. I think they're demonic. I think they're part of a globalist surveillance web. But listen to me. This is where we have to be careful. Do you really want the government to have the power to regulate addictive algorithms?
Well, we regulate everything else that's addictive. Tobacco, alcohol. Why shouldn't we protect kids from this?
No!
Ray, we protect kids from toxins. Why is the digital toxin different?
Because addiction is the gateway word they will use to censor speech. Listen to me. If you give the government the power to say what's addictive, they will say the neural right is addictive. They will say common sense is a drug that causes extremism.
Okay, I see your point.
The answer isn't a federal regulator. The answer is a parent taking the phone and throwing it into a wood chipper.
Well, a wood chipper is a bit much, but maybe just a locked drawer.
The white papers show that these trials are just a setup for the government to take control of the digital landscape. They want to guardrail your brain.
Well, whether it's the government or the tech giants, someone is trying to control the narrative, but they're losing because we are standing in the way.
We are the shield. They are losing because people are waking up to the reality of Operation Epic Fury. They're waking up to the energy boom. They're waking up to the $28 billion being clawed back from the fraudsters.
It's a return to sanity, and it's about time.
It's a reclamation. We are taking back the country one story, one deposition, one barrel of oil at a time.
We are, and we are not going to let the Machete Professors or the elite ingrates stop the momentum.
They can't stop the truth. They don't want you to know this, but we are winning.
We really are. Well, that's all we have time for today, but we'll be back on Monday to see what else this crazy world has in store for us.
Keep your eyes on the documents, keep your spirits high, and get your super male vitality bone broth because the war for the future is just getting started.
God bless everyone.
It's over for the globalists.